Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? We're getting back into Love Island series 11 and we are now on episode 10. Right, so you know we're back. Patsy and Munvir have left and now it's the aftermath of all of that. But before I get into that episode, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so when you know I'm on and doing videos. Please comment, like, share and do all the good things that you do, because you know what, I am on the road to 1k. Anyway, so as I said, we know Patsy and Munvir have been voted off by their fellow islanders. You do see Joey and Sam having a chat basically, and Sam was basically saying, well, they must be doing something right. I says, nah, it's not a wee thing in that, you know, Sam, it's not a wee thing in that one. It is a Joey thing. People voted because they didn't want to see Joey leave or potentially leave the island. You know what I'm saying? It weren't nothing to do with Sam. That's how I want to see it and say it. It weren't nothing to do with Sam at all. You see, Jess is speaking to Sam and Nicole and she's basically telling them what Ronnie said to her is that he's nearly there but not ready to make a decision. So I was like, okay, is this at long last that Jess is going to make a decision herself and walk? But then you get Sam bleating in Jess's ear, telling her, don't back down to Harriet. And this is the fuckery crap that I mean. This is the fuckeries that I mean with these girls. At the end of the day, it's about self-respect and self-preservation. Why should Jess continue to keep trying to tell this man to make a decision? It's either me or her. If he ain't ready to pick, for one, and for two, who cares if Harriet has the man? Because actually he's not worthy of Jess is what the answer should have been. And yes, Jess should have walked away and made a go of it with Sean just to see if that was going to go anywhere. Not sit in the melee and be like, oh, don't lose out to Harriet, because that never works out for a person. Never works out for a person going into competition with another woman. It doesn't work out, and not for a man like Ronnie anyway. I mean, come on, and this is why I keep saying the man's a geezer. Like, he's a serial player at the end of the day. Do I really think Ronnie's in there looking for love? No, I don't. I really don't. I really do not. So, basically, you see Jess and Harriet chatting, or I think it's just them getting ready for bedtime, and they're all just when they all just chat, and Jess is basically saying that you can't trust Ronnie, and I'm kind of like, well, if you can't trust him or you don't trust him, yeah, that's it. She's saying she don't trust Ronnie, and she wouldn't be able to trust him if they were ever to make a go of things on the outside world. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, what are you doing with him for? What are you doing with him if it ain't just to stick it to Harriet? Because at the end of the day, without trust, there's no relationship anyway. That's it, dead in the water. So what the hell are you still carrying on with this foolishness with Ronnie for? So Harriet's there in a naive way, as I call it, and she said, we are still in our triangles, and Jess goes, I'm not anymore. So I'm thinking, okay, so Jess has now made the decision to move from this guy. So again, Harriet is talking to Jess, and all the time when Harriet does talk to Jess, she centers herself, and I think it annoys Jess no end. But there's sometimes where Jess can, there's a point where you can be brutally honest with someone but not tear the person down or make them feel stupid at the end of the day. But that's what Jess does when she talks to Harriet. I understand she not like the girl because of the trouble that's been caused at the moment. She don't like her. But there's ways in which you can talk to a person to convey what it is that you're feeling. Every time Jess talks to Harriet, it's like she's biting her head off, like literally biting it off, spitting it out and growing a new one to keep doing the same process over and over again. So when there was the chats in the bedroom, you see Nicole and Kieran having a talk, and it basically looked like, and I'm going to say it now because it does get confusing afterwards, it basically looked like that these two had locked themselves off to each other. So I was kind of like, okay, so we have our first lock-off couple in the place, Nicole and Kieran. I was like, okay, but we shall see how long that lasts for real though. like for real, because I do think Kieran has probably a bit of a wandering eye. And I think Nicole is one of those like clingers. She ain't a stage 4 clinger yet, but I've got a feeling that she is going to cling to this man come hell or high water. So all I'm gonna say is that when a tester comes in at the place, we'll see how that computes with them two and their relationship. I've just come to the decision that when it comes to Ao and Ronnie, they just enjoy having the girls hanging for them. That's what they like. They love this little battle that's going on. And I'm just like, yeah, these two are for the streets at the moment, because Ayo's getting on my damn nerves and Ronnie's getting on my damn nerves. You see me, Nicole and Harriet are having a chat, and Nicole is telling the girls about how her and Kieran have talked about being closed off. So Nicole is literally essentially telling the girls that, you know, they're on that plane of closed off, locked off city. But I'm still waiting for Kieran to tell anybody, because he not telling nobody yet that, you know, they've had this conversation and it's looking like they are closed off to each other. But yeah, I ain't seen him have that conversation with the lads, not quite clearly anyway. So you see Jess and Sean have a chat, and basically Sean is saying that he wants to put the work in with Jess, and Jess is saying that she thinks he's doing all the right things at the moment. And I'm just like, she's trying so hard to look interested in this man, but she's not, because all she wants to do is wait on Ronnie. All she wants is for Ronnie to make a decision, yeah, and make her the priority. That's what Jess wants. But sometimes Jess can come across as like a harpy. I'm sorry, like a proverbial harpy. Like she's trying to tell Ronnie what he needs to do and how he needs to do it and when he needs to do it. A man like Ronnie don't work like that, my love. He really does not work like that. And all she's going to end up doing is shutting this man down and turning him off. So a text comes in. I was like, oh God, what the hell's going to happen here? We have a date, okay? Joey and Sam have a date. She's all excited to get out of that villa and everything like that and be on this date with Joe. And I'm like, but she not even like the man. She really don't like this man. I honestly believe that Sam likes Joey for his name. Like, seriously, I do. There's nothing about Sam or how Sam is with Joey or how she speaks about Joey half the time that makes me believe that she's seeing Joey and the man and that's who she wants. It just does not compute. The one thing I will say is Joey should not pretend to speak Spanish. He should not try. He should not try. It was weird. It was absolutely weird. He could say some phrases, but it still came off hella weird, stilted, and overacted, basically. So Uma grabs Ao, and she actually decides that she is going to remove herself from the situation. So basically, she is telling Ao that don't look at me as an option no more, because I don't want no part of this situation. She wants to move away from it altogether. Now, Ao was quiet, kind of like, okay, I accept what you're saying, but Uma kept on going on, and she kept on going on about how she feels the stronger connection he has with Mimi. And I'm just like, she goes on about how she needs to protect herself. And I'm just like, you were telling him just what you were telling him, and then you had to go in depth, because I think she wanted Ao to literally say, no, it's not like that, please, and literally give a little bit of a fight. But Ao was so unbothered. He was not bothered by it, to be fair. I think at that point he was just kind of like, you know what, mate, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I can't be asked to, like, you know, go into any more depth. You've made your mind up, you've made your choice up, so, you know, wrong with it. So Mimi at that point, because she was watching Uma and Ao have this conversation, so she was more than likely thinking, oh my God, here we go again with this bullshit. So Mimi was starting to get pissed at Ao and basically said that she wasn't in the mood for the rubbish. And I'm like, this is where it starts, because Ao needs to be careful that, you know what, Uma's decided to step back and say, you know what, enough's enough, no more. Rather than what Jess is doing, do you know what I mean? Uma's decided, you know what, I know my own self-worth. I'm a step back from this shit before, it makes me look even more of a fool. So Uma did her thing. Yeah? And now you've got Mimi getting hella pissed at Ayo because she doesn't believe that Ayo is doing enough with her and fostering what they could have together. So if Ayo's not careful, he could end up losing both of them. Like, let's just put it that way. He could end up losing both of them. So you see Ayo having a chat with the lads. And you see Kieran actually bigging up Mimi and basically saying to Ayo that she's bored and she wants an answer. And Ayo really said, well, what answer? He doesn't know what answer he's supposed to give Mimi. The answer you're supposed to give Mimi, my love, is that you want her. That you actually want to make a go of it and show her in your actions that you want to make a go of it and get to know her and see where it can go. Because right now, Ayo's behaviour is piss poor towards Mimi and even towards Uma. It's been piss poor because they think once they get these girls, that's it, and then they just keep them on a string dangling. Nah, there's only so much of that some people can take at the end of the day. Ayo basically says that he don't really get what Uma was going on with. I get what Uma was going on with at the end of the day. It's called self-preservation. You're not meeting a need for Uma at the end of the day, and you carry on like all you want to do is try and get your dick wet. You say you're going around and having these little, like, hand holding, kissing, this, that, or whatever you want to call it, and you're hella being disrespectful. But he's not just being disrespectful to Uma, he's being disrespectful to Mimi as well, and trying to see if he can keep them dangling as long as he can, to keep playing each one as long as he can. But it didn't work. So that's what Uma's going on with at the end of the day. She chose herself. That's what Uma did. She chose herself and dipped. But when you've got someone who plays like Ronnie plays, they ain't going to understand it. They're truly not going to understand it. So this is where I'm saying in this episode is where Joey does ask Sam when they're out on this date straight, are you happy with things are going? And she says yes. And I'm like, you bloody liar. You're an absolute liar. Because she's there telling the girls, oh, Joey doesn't do this, Joey doesn't meet this need, Joey doesn't, get me no coffee, Joey doesn't kiss me, he's not affectionate, She has all these complaints, but as soon as Joey asks her, do you like where things are going, are you happy how things are going, her first answer is yes. She full of crapiola. Anyway, again, the girls were sitting in the villa all together, and then you see Harriet get up. I'm gonna go and speak to Ronnie. She just can't help herself, and this is why Ronnie plays her like the fiddle that he does. He can't get away with it with Jess, but he can with Harriet. So you see the girls trying to eavesdrop on us, and I keep saying all the time, when you try and do shit like that, you never hear anything good about yourself or anything good that you want to hear, but they couldn't technically hear what was being said anyway. So Ronnie is basically, he don't need to follow Harriet around, because she's always there, because I think Harriet was trying to say that how Ronnie's always there, or he follows her around, with his eyes and this, that and the other. I'm like, nah, my girl, you are in Cloud Cuckoo Land, you are always there. Ronnie don't need to call you for chats because you are always there. So in came Sam and Joey from their date. And all I can say is Sam just loves to be centre of attention at the end of the day. She tells the girls that they're taking it slow, that they're comfortable with each other. Joey says the handbrake isn't all the way on yet when it comes to Sam. So he will be looking at other people when they do come in. And basically he did tell Sam at the date that, you know what, if someone comes in that takes her fancy, then just go for it at the end of the day. That's what they're there for. So the text comes in to break the silence, and it's a recoupling, and the girls will choose who they want. I was like, oh damn. I was like, if Uma ends up picking Ayo after the chat that she just had with this guy, moving herself from that whole scenario, that would be an absolute bugger of a move. It wouldn't be the right move, it'd be a bugger of a move. Sean I don't know who he's speaking to. I think he was talking to Jess, and he was talking to one of the lads or whatever when it comes to the recoupling, and he was saying that he didn't think he came on too thick, and I'm like, my guy, you were thicker than a Snickers. You came on strong. I mean, Sean has the same pattern of banter with each girl that he meets, and I'm like, my guy, you're gonna need to change that up. I do hope that Sean finds somebody for himself up in this place, because Harriet wasn't it for him. Jess certainly ain't it for him, and we'll just see if anybody else comes in to see if it's it for him. So it comes to choosing time, and let me just say, Jess made her decision on what the hell she was going to do, but she didn't make it for the right reasons. She didn't make it to say, do you know what, I'm stepping out of this situation at all. No. She made the decision that she made to force somebody's hand. Anyway, we'll go into the choosing time. So Nicole chooses Kieran, of course. So Jess basically said that she wanted to be with the person that she felt she had a strong connection with, and she's still exploring that connection. She's still exploring that with that person that she's kind of met within the villa. She basically turned around and again spoke of herself being the prize, and she doesn't want to be in competition with another woman in this place. And so she said this boy deserves a chance, and she chose Sean. That did not compute or go over well, it looked like, for Harriet or Ronnie, because Harriet looked miserable, because you know what, the choice was taken. It didn't really matter at this point now if she chose Ronnie or not, because Jess basically said with her move, you know what, have him. That's what she said. She basically said, he's yours for the taking now, my love. You can have my sloppy seconds. That's exactly what Jess was putting out there. So Uma then gets up and says they had this with this boy. They haven't had the smoothest start, but she'd enjoyed getting to know him so far. Basically, the decision she was going to make now was going to be the right decision and make her the happiest in the long run. I was like, Lord of mercy, I tell you, if Ayo's last name come out of her mouth, I would have passed. I would have fainted. Fainted flat out. I would have said, no, my girl, what are you doing? But she didn't. She picked Omar. I was like, oh, okay. These girls are making these moves right now. Uma made the move for herself, but Jess did not make the move she made in picking Sean for herself. She's using Sean. Let's not forget that. So Harriet at this point is just kind of like, you know what, we know who your choice is going to be. You might as well just say it. You might as well just take it, because Jess is basically bowed out. So she had no choice but to have Ronnie. Ronnie, of course, didn't even look happy with this decision at all. And neither did Harriet. They both sat there looking like two glum chums together, man. I was like, well, you got what you wanted. But I think Ronnie wanted to be the one in control. He wanted to be the one in control. But he did. That control was taken away as soon as Jess did what she did. Jess ain't stupid, you know. She planned for that. She knew exactly the effect that would have on Harriet and on Ronnie. So then Mimi turned around, and she did end up choosing Ayo. And Uma looked like her face was a spanked ass, man. So I was like, my girl, you need to fix your face, because at the end of the day, you didn't want Ayo no more. So, and you chose yourself. So you ended up choosing Omar. So you know what? Step away from that business, Dessa. It shouldn't need to bother you no more. Sam then only has Joey left. What? Waiting for the new bombshells, because you know they're coming. Sam's speech was hella stupid, by the way. It really was. And then that was the end of that episode. And then you see coming into the next episode, 3 bombshells are coming in. And it looks like Joey used to see one of them, and we'll see how that plays out, shall we? Anyway, mom and guys, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button, so when you know I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share, and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1K, and I'll be back in quick succession with the next video. Peace out.